Hi guys, so I'm going to do a quick labor and delivery video. I have Missy in my hands, so I'm going to introduce her to you guys first. So this is Hailey. Say hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody. We're just hanging out. So basically, when I did my 37-week video update, I actually went into labor the next night. So that's why I don't think I did her hospital bag, because I definitely wasn't expecting to go into labor like that night. And I actually have a little labor clip that I'll upload. It's really short. It was like right after they broke my water, so it was getting really painful. So I didn't really have anybody there to film because my aunt that was supposed to come, she couldn't make it because I wasn't expecting to go into labor that soon. So anyways, that night, the next night, we went into the hospital and they put me on the monitor in the triage, and they saw that I was having contractions, and the nurse checked me and I was 3 centimeters. So they kind of monitored everything. They saw that the baby's heart rate was dropping, and every time they moved me like over, her heart, sorry, I was trying to move her down so I can talk to you guys. So her heart rate was dropping, and they were really concerned about that. So they moved me out of triage into a delivery room, and they just said that they were going to monitor me for the night, monitor my contractions, and the doctor would come in the morning, check me, and talk to me about what is going on and if they were going to go ahead and get things rolling faster or what. So it was all night long, nurses coming in. I didn't get any sleep that night, and my contractions obviously were getting stronger. They were when I went in, they were like about 3 to 4 minutes apart, and after they moved me and I got into the delivery room, they were pretty much between 2 and 3 minutes apart. So things were moving along. They got me like all my paperwork, they got my bracelets on and everything like that. And then by, I think it was 7:30 the next morning on the 22nd, the doctor came in, sorry, July 22nd, the doctor came in, or June 22nd, Jesus, excuse me, the doctor came in and she checked me and I was 4 centimeters, so I was progressing. The baby's heart rate was going up and down all night long, so she was like, well, we're just going to start Pitocin to get things rolling. You're progressing. It's just going kind of slow right now. We're just going to kind of kick you into, a little bit faster because of the baby's heart rate and stuff. So I actually talked to her and requested that I didn't get the Pitocin, that I'd rather have my water break, because with my son, it went really quickly after the doctor broke my water, so I kind of wanted to stay away from, like, Pitocin and stuff like that. So she was like, yeah, we can do that. So after they broke my water, I requested an epidural. Even though it didn't work the last time, I was like, well, what can it not hurt? If it doesn't work this time, it doesn't work. If it does, great, So right after that, she got my bag started because they were like, I don't know, I was just afraid that I was going to have the baby like really fast, which is what they wanted because of her heart anyways, so, which they were monitoring really closely, because I honestly thought I was going to have an emergency C-section. And that's another reason why I couldn't video. It was just so much going on with her birth that it wasn't really feasible to film, because they had to put me on oxygen and all kinds of stuff because of her heart rate. It was just a lot going on. So after she broke my water, they got my bag started. The anesthesiologist came in, gave me my epidural, which worked this time, thank goodness. And that was probably about 9:30ish by the time he was done. And then they checked me, and I was like 6 centimeters already. I went from like 4 to 6, like in no time. And then I waited like a little bit or whatever. Her heart rate kept dropping still. They came in, tried to move. They actually were going to put a monitor on top of her head. But when they went to check me, she was like, I was ready to go. It was like literally 20 minutes after I was 6 centimeters, like I was ready to go. So by like 10:22, I had her. It took 2 pushes because she was so small. When she was born, she weighed 6 pounds and 3 ounces, and she was 19 and a half inches long. And she actually had that stuff still on her skin, so the one of the people from the NICU said that she actually looks like she was a week earlier. So when I had her, I was 37 2 days. So he said that she actually looked like she was 36 weeks because of that stuff was still on her skin. So when she came out, since her heart rate was dropping, she was having trouble breathing a lot, and they couldn't get her to, like, she was just, kind of gasping for air, so they couldn't get her to really start breathing well. And one thing that they were concerned about was a lung infection. So they kind of took her pretty quickly to the NICU. They got her all hooked up on the monitor. They started IVs just in case it was a lung infection, and they did cultures and stuff. And they also gave her medicine through a tube down in her lungs, just in case, because the doctor said it wouldn't hurt if they did or didn't. If she had a lung infection, it would help. So the cultures were 48-hour cultures, so I had to wait 2 days, which they were going to discharge me the next day, but the doctor ended up letting me stay an extra day since she was in the NICU. So we were waiting for those cultures, which came back negative. So she didn't have a lung infection or anything like that. They said that, which the doctor, when I was delivering her umbilical cord was actually not wrapped around her neck, but kind of wrapped around her shoulder, and it was pressing down on my pelvis bone, and it was cutting off circulation, which is why every time I would have a contraction or whatever, her heart rate would go down because it was pushing on the umbilical cord. So that was why she was having trouble breathing, but they went ahead and just kept her and monitored her in the NICU and stuff like that. And then she developed jaundice while she was in the NICU, so she had to do phototherapy with the lights and stuff for 2 days. So she was in the NICU for 5 days total, and I had to leave after the second day. And she was actually having a hard time eating too. She wasn't sucking. So they were having a really hard time feeding her, which is another reason why she stayed as long as she did. Oh, are you okay? You can't go that fast. You gotta slow down. Yeah. You gotta slow down. Sorry. So that was another reason why they kept her. When she came home, she was 5 pounds and 14 ounces. So she was really tiny. So that's why another reason why I didn't film, because those first couple of weeks were just trying to get her situated and trying to get everything, together with my son too, and then having her and watching her, because I was so scared that I just really didn't have time to film. So anyways, I'm glad that she's okay, and it was just a really scary time in my life, and very stressful too, so which is another reason why I couldn't film. But that is my labor story. It happened all really quickly after, she broke my water. So yeah. So that was my labor story. That was why my daughter had to go to the NICU and stuff. And I will talk to you guys in another video soon. Bye.